According to a brand new Fox News poll, Americans think both Republicans and President Obama share the blame for the government shutdown. But you couldn't tell by watching the major news networks. According to the MRC, the Media Research Center, network evening news stories over the last 2 weeks blamed the Republicans 21 times. How many times did they blame the Democrats? 0. Town Hall's Elisabeth Meinecke joins us right now from St. Louis. Elisabeth, good morning to you.
Good morning.
This is not surprising. We've been talking about the liberal bias in mainstream media for many, many years on this channel. But just to look at the fact that it was 21 to 0, where it's blame the Republicans, don't even mention the Democrats. That's shocking.
Exactly. Well, as my sister likes to say, go ahead and blame the Tea Party. That didn't work so well for the British 200 years ago, so the media better make sure they're on the right side of history this time. But, there's another issue with the media's portrayal here. And that's really, the Founding Fathers drew a line in the sand when it came to taxes. The Supreme Court has declared Obamacare a tax, so the media should recognize that the Republicans actually have pretty good precedents for what they're doing, which is standing up for a tax that the American people don't want.
Sure. Well, you know what? We also just cited a brand new Fox poll where it showed that maybe people are listening to the radio and looking at the internet and watching Fox News, where we tell both sides, because when you look right here, who's most responsible for the government shutdown? Republicans like Boehner, 25% of you say. 24% say the President of the United States. So maybe people are waking up and smelling the coffee.
I mean, it is really refreshing to see that kind of balance, because basically the media, when they don't tell the whole story, they betray the public trust. The public should be able to decide based on what the media reports who's responsible. And if they listen to the major networks, they're just getting a one-sided narrative right now, and they're not able to do that.
And, when you watch what's going on Capitol Hill, it's pretty clear that what the Republicans are doing is they know what everybody disagrees on. The Republicans and the Democrats disagree on Obamacare, but they can agree on some things like keeping the World War II memorial open, funding for NIH and veteran services and stuff like that. They agree on that, and yet they won't even bring up in the Senate these things for a vote, which is extraordinary, because people would be going, well, why don't they open it up? But you don't hear that on the mainstream media.
You really don't. I mean, the Republicans have sent over 4 different CRs, and that was before the shutdown. Democrats wouldn't handle those in the Senate. And then since the shutdown, they have sent over 5 different spending bills to fund different, aspects of the government, and the Senate won't even give them a look. So most of those a look. So, I mean, it really is an example of, when you look at the media, are you hearing about those options that the Republicans are offering? Not really.
Because the Republicans are offering options, but the Democrats are saying, we're not going to negotiate. But when you have a divided government, Elisabeth, nobody gets everything they want, but you got to sit at a table and you've got to say something other than no, no, no.
Well, you think these politicians would have learned that back in kindergarten, but apparently they all flunked it or something like that. I don't know. But the president really has, he doesn't have much incentive to negotiate when the media is on his side this way. One of your first responsibilities as a political journalist is to hold the government accountable, and the media just isn't doing that right now, so he has no incentive to want to negotiate.
You're right about that. All right, Elisabeth Meinecke from Town Hall joining us today from St. Louis. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right.